Hello and welcome to another match preview on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. It wasn't that long ago since we faced the Gunners, but this time around we'll be facing each other this Sunday in the FA Cup third round. Now, some fans may not hold the competition in high regards anymore from previous years anyway, but for me it's still a major cup competition with heritage and history. Liverpool have won the competition 8 times, whereas Arsenal have topped the charts with 14 FA Cup wins. So this game is huge for both teams, but maybe more so for Arsenal. The last time Arsenal and Liverpool faced each other was in 2014, where Arsenal were victorious and won the game 2-1. Goal scorers on the day were Oxlade-Chamberlain and Podolski for Arsenal. Gerrard scored from the penalty spot as a consolation goal. 10 years on, we're back again at the same venue, which is the Emirates. I'm looking forward to this match. Arsenal may not be in the best of forms in recent weeks. In the last 5 games, they've won 1 game, drawn 1, and lost 3 times. Liverpool, on the other hand, have been in great form. 3 wins and 2 draws. One of the draws was obviously against Arsenal a couple of weeks ago. And due to a good run of games, Liverpool are currently top of the table. So let's proceed with this match as I present the team news. Then I'll predict the lineups for both teams and give you my score prediction. So let's start with team news. Let's go with Arsenal first. So in terms of Arsenal, Zinchenko, from what I know, is still unavailable with an injury. Tomiyasu is on international duty now with Japan in the Asian Cup. Elneny has also left the squad to take part in the Africa Cup of Nations. Thomas Partey and Fabio Vieira are doubts for this game. Liverpool, on the other hand, Wataru Endo and Mo Salah are also off on international duty with their countries. Szoboszlai is a concern for this game as he came off injured with a hamstring injury, looked like, against Newcastle early in the week. Matip, Robertson, Bašić, Thiago, and Tsimikas still remain on the sidelines. I'm just going to go through some of the comments there. And we've got Ensman TV says, bless up, bro. Have a great stream. Thank you, Ens, as always. Appreciate your support and your comment. And Dad says, have you got a guest tonight? If not, I can hear you on. No guest tonight. I'm doing a quick one today. But what I'll do in terms of my sort of format, so match reactions, I let the fans come on the show. So if you're free on Sunday evening, I normally do my show at 10 p.m. If you're free on Sunday, feel free to jump on the show. The floor is yours to have your say on the game. But today, just a quick one, just to present my thoughts on this game. And yeah, but match reactions, all my match reactions are for the fans. So if you want to come on, you're more than welcome to come on the show. I've just got another comment from Daz, who says, out for 3 weeks is Dominic Szoboszlai. Okay, so that's a shame. That's pretty much covering the whole of this month. By the time he's fit, Mo Salah and Taro Endo might return from their international duties. So that's going to be a big loss, I think, for the team. But we still have numbers, in my opinion, to cope with the loss of these 3 players, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. In terms of predicted lineup, let me present the home team first, and then we can take it from there. So let's go with Arsenal. So as I mentioned before, I mentioned in my previous show, but Arsenal basically have a 13-day winter break before their next fixture, which is actually against Crystal Palace in the Premier League. So I expect Arteta to field a very strong lineup. Obviously, he's got quite a few injuries, but nevertheless, I'm expecting a strong Arsenal team that won't be heavily rotated. Obviously, the formation that they normally play is 4-3-3, similar to Liverpool. In terms of goal, Arsenal fans, let me know what you think, because this one's always up for debate. Is Arteta going to stick to his gun and actually rotate the goalkeepers, which is what managers traditionally do? Or is he going to let Raya stay in goal? Because he has picked up form in the last couple of weeks, I would say. So do you want to lose that momentum, or do you want to give Ramsdale a chance, because he's been pretty much out in the cold for the last few weeks? So I think it's a big decision from him. I actually think he starts Ramsdale in this one. It would probably be the wisest to start Ramsdale. I think he will. I think he'll need to try and keep both keepers happy or at bay. there's already links with Ramsdale leaving the club this month on loan as he's trying to get into the Euro squad for England. So big call for Ramsdale in terms of what he wants to do for his future, but also Arteta, is he willing to let him go on loan later in this window? Remains to be seen. In terms of the back four, Tomiyasu for me would definitely have started in this one, but obviously he's not available. Left back is a problem area. No Timber. He's still out with a long-term injury. I believe it was Kiwi. Can't pronounce his name. Kiwi or the Polish defender there. I think he will start in that role. I know a lot of Arsenal fans aren't overly pleased with his performances, but he's a squad player, so there's only so much you can expect from someone that doesn't play week in, week out. Then you've got Ben White, right back, who for me has had an average season, hasn't, not I won't say lived up to it, but hasn't continued his good form from last season onto this one. Fans are telling me, Arsenal fans are telling me that he's, playing with an injury right now. Players are never 100%, so I'm not really buying that excuse. If he's not fit enough, then he probably wouldn't start. So no, he's just not been in great form altogether, in my opinion. Back four will be their solid rock. Will be Gabriel on the left side, and then you've got Saliba on the right side. So a strong back four for Arsenal there. In terms of midfield, Declan Rice will definitely be their CDM in this one. And then Havertz as a left-sided number 8. And you've got Odegaard on the right-hand side. It's quite funny because they've also recently been linked with our player, Curtis Jones, to play in that midfield. Just to speak off topic, he'd actually be a good player in this team. That's the type of player I would have expected Arsenal to have signed in the summer and not Havertz. For me, that Havertz signing is still a bit of a mystery. I'm not sure why Arteta's made him sort of like one of the big signings. I think his versatility might have been the reason why. Obviously, he can play in midfield, play false 9 or up top, and if really desperate situation, he can even play on the right wing if he really had to. But he's a type of player that doesn't really flourish or have a very strong skill set. He's a bit of a jack of all trades, where he's decent at a lot of things, but he's not very good at a lot of things. So I don't know. I still don't see him as a great fit for this Arsenal team. I think, let me think of a player who they probably should have gone for. Someone in the likes of Gibbs White. I think Gibbs White would be a fantastic player in this Arsenal midfield, playing on this sort of left side, number 8. Great ball carrier, full of energy, can shoot as well. Obviously, he scored that winner against United over the weekend. That would be the type of profile that Arsenal should have been looking at instead of Havertz. But hey, I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I won't delve into it too much. But from a football point of view, that's just my viewpoint in terms of their summer signing there. Up top, Nketiah started the last game. I don't see him starting this one. So I think Gabriel Jesus would lead the line. He normally tends to have a great game against Liverpool, whether he's playing on the wing or centrally. He will definitely play against Liverpool in this fixture. A lot of talk around his form where he hasn't scored enough goals, which is a fair assessment. But obviously, you have to look at his sort of record as well. He's been injured quite a few times. That's always been, I think, a sticking point with him, where when he plays, he's really good, but he's not always available. So, availability is the best form when you're part of a squad, and if you're not available, you're not involved. So yeah, obviously they're linked with Ivan Toney to play that number 9 role. I think Ivan Toney would be fantastic for this Arsenal team. Will it happen? I don't know. Financial fair play might not allow that sort of move to happen unless they do another daylight robbery with Brentford and offer some sort of loan plus option to buy, obligation to buy at the end of the season. That deal could pan out. But does that favor Brentford? Not really, because they're not able to invest any funds to replace him in their team. And to be fair, they're not having the best of times in the league right now either. So remains to be seen. I'll say we'll do like a transfer show later on in the month and discuss all of these latest rumors. But yeah, I think Jesus will definitely lead the line for this one, and Ketia will be on the bench, in my opinion. And then on the wings, they don't really have a lot of options. Let's be honest. I'm just going to see who else would be available for this fixture on the wings. I don't expect Arteta to rotate anyone, so you've got the likes of Smith Rowe, who's for me has been frozen out, hasn't really played much, which for me is a shame. In fact, he should be playing that number 8 role ahead of Havertz. Not really seen Arsenal fans say that too much, to be fair. Something definitely one that I'll raise up on social media, because I feel like Smith Rowe would be fantastic in that number 8 role instead of Havertz. But doesn't look like Arteta fancies him. Maybe he'll be seeking a move in the near future. And Reece Nelson hasn't really played much, if I'm being honest, has made a few cameos here and there. Trossard for me is a good player, good squad player to have. Comes on, definitely makes a difference. Probably not a star, in my opinion. So I think it'll be Martinelli on the left-hand side. And then you've got Saka on the right. So yeah, so this is my lineup for the Arsenal team. Let me know what you guys think. No huge surprises here. Maybe the Ramsdale one or the QR one on the left side of defense. They don't have a lot of options, to be brutally honest. If it's not him, who do they have? They've got Cedric Suarez, predominantly a right back. Can play left back, to be fair. I think it'll be a flip of a coin of those two. But I would probably say, because he played against Fulham, he's the most likely player to start on that side. And then you've got, that's it. They don't really have that many options, unfortunately. It's got quite a few injuries. I think they've got 7 defenders altogether in their squad, which is quite a low number. So, there's a lot of talk about strikers being signed at Arsenal. Maybe they need another defender as well. But that's another discussion for another day. Just got a comment here from Daz. He said, "What's your name on X, please?" So my Twitter handle or X handle is at OzzieFTP. Now you should be able to find me on X/Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter nowadays, but yeah, you can find me on X. So let's move over to the Liverpool team. So we'll take the graphic off here, and we'll present the Liverpool lineup, which for me is a bit of a debatable one, if I'm being honest. But we'll chop it up and speak in more detail. So in terms of formation, 4-3-3, 100%. That is the lineup that we're going to go for. Goalkeeper. So I mentioned about Arsenal or Arteta. Who should he select for his team? Who should Klopp select for this one? Because if it was another team that wasn't such a strong lineup, I think Kelleher would definitely be a shoo-in to start. But because it's Arsenal, I feel like you've got to play your best players. So Kelleher might not like this one, but I'm actually going for Alisson in goal for this fixture. Kelleher, for me, has been hit and miss. I think the last few games he's played, he's done much better. But look, against Arsenal, I want to field the strongest team possible. So I'm going with Alisson in goal. And then you've got the left-back role. So Tsimikas still not available, unfortunately, due to his broken collarbone. Robertson should be making a return this month. That is what the schedule was in terms of his recovery. I don't think he's fit for this game, or I've not heard anything. So I doubt he's even in contention to start. But, Klopp has surprised us in the last couple of weeks. A couple of weeks ago, Jota came off the bench, and then McAllister came off the bench against Newcastle. So, who knows? There might be a nice surprise from Klopp. I'm hoping it's more Thiago than anyone else. But yeah, it'll be a surprise to see this. Robertson coming on the team there. We've got a comment from Daz who says Alisson. So Daz agrees with me. Yeah, I would go with Alisson, hands down. I'm going to go for Joe Gomez. I know we've just bit of what I was reading earlier on today that Owen Beck, who's one of our young players, just returning on loan from Dundee, I believe it is, who's also a left back, could be in line to start in this game. I would think that would be a crazy decision from Klopp to start a player who's not really been part of the first team fold ever. To be honest, I think he might have played in preseason, but that's about it. In such an important game, just because he's a traditional left-footed or left back, I wouldn't play him there. We've still got Luke Chambers who can occupy that role as well. So for me, you have to get the best available player for that position, and by far it's Joe Gomez. And I'm not gonna lie, I've said it a few times in the past. Joe Gomez, I'm not his biggest fan when he's at left back, just because obviously right-footed player, all that stuff. I don't think it's sort of matches his skill set, but he's surprised me in the last 2-3 weeks. He's really evolved in that role. Even just like his timing with his runs and his decision making with the passes that he's doing, and even just like simple things in terms of when to release the ball or positionally where he's not overexposed because he's trying to have an impact in that forward area. His all-round game has been fantastic, and defensively, not seen anyone try and go past him. So Saka will have definitely a tough afternoon against Gomez. Gomez actually came on during that game against Arsenal as Simic has clashed into Klopp, breaking his collarbone. Saka was responsible for that as well. You know, babyface assassin. No one could say anything to him afterwards, but he knew what he was doing with that challenge there. And he was ineffective after that, too, when Gomez came on. Couldn't really get past him and didn't have any influence on the game. So I'm very confident of Joe Gomez stepping up and producing another great performance in this fixture. Let me go with let me go right back. So for me, Trent goes without saying. I wouldn't rotate and give Conor Bradley a game in this one. I think, like I said, I'm expecting Arsenal to go hard with this one and field a very strong lineup. And it's the same with Liverpool. So I think, as I mentioned earlier, because both of the teams have a little bit of a gap until the next Premier League fixture, they should be able to field a strong team in this one. So yeah, Liverpool actually play next week against Fulham in the Carabao Cup semi-final. So we're playing that, I believe, on the 10th. And then we have a 10-day break. And then we face Bournemouth in the Premier League. So Arsenal pretty much have a 2-week gap. We have a 10-day gap. But, you know, it's a good enough time for the players to rest, recoup. They might even go abroad for a training camp. Normally they go to Dubai and that sort of place. So playing in humid condition will definitely help with their sort of maintenance in form and fitness. So yeah, definitely a lot of games piling up in the January month. But yeah, this game I'm expecting a strong lineup in the centre positions. Obviously, our captain, our leader, Van Dijk. And this one's debatable because you've got Konate, for me, has been fantastic when he's played recently. Kwanzaa, whenever he's come in, has played well as well. I'm actually going to give the nod to Konate just because of the opposition. That's pretty much it. And after that, I think we can rotate the squad a bit more. Kwanzaa can even play against the next fixture, which is Fulham. So let's see how it goes. But that would be my back four. And I've just got a couple comments here from Daz, who says Trent, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, and Gomez. So you've gone for Kwanzaa as well. And then we've got Madison Smith. Thank you, Madison, for your comment. An Arsenal fan here. Let us know about the kit. What season is that from? Oh no, I have to Google this one because I was looking at the last time we faced in terms of what kit we had. This was under Brendan Rodgers, so it was probably around, I think, 2015. Let me give a quick Google and confirm with you guys. So yeah, it's definitely around the Brendan Rodgers era. Let's have a look. I should probably know this on top of my head. But I've got so many Liverpool kits, I've actually lost track of what year they're from as well. So this is actually 2013. So I think this was the season where I think it was one of Brendan Rodgers. I think Brendan Rodgers' second season in charge at the club. So yeah, this is from 2003. So still surprised it fits me, to be fair. But you know, it is what it is with that. Then we've got Ensman TV. He says Kwanzaa as well. So he's favouring Kwanzaa. I'm not mad at it, to be fair. I'm not mad at it at all. Bless up Ens and from Daz, and then ends the same big up to Daz as well. Guys, I wouldn't be annoyed if it was Kwanzaa. I don't know, I'm just thinking, I feel like Arsenal are really going to go with a strong lineup. So I'm going to go with Konate for this one. Dad is asking, Ends, are you doing a watch along on Sunday? Let us know, Ends, if you are doing one. I'll definitely tune in to your watch along this Sunday. And let's go on to the midfield. So, okay, so Endo's not available. Let's go a comment from Ends. Ozzie, from I smoked you on EA, haven't seen you. Yeah, we had a FC24 show a few weeks ago. We'll have to do a part 2. I mentioned it earlier on. We've got a sort of a gap between this fixture and the next Premier League fixture. So yeah, we'll be in touch. We'll definitely we'll do a part 2. I'll try and practice the game a little bit more. I was definitely rusty when I played against you, but hey, no excuses. But what we'll probably do random teams. I think that was a good shout when we did the last show, rather than selecting our favorite teams, because I remember that game when you played with France and I was Argentina, you smoked me, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna let Enz play with France ever again. So we'll do random teams, but yeah, we'll speak behind the scenes, and then we'll line one up for the viewers. Of course, he's laughing at that comment right now. I've seen more photos of Thiago than Bashtit, so yeah, very, very confusing situation with Bashtit, because it wasn't regarded as a sort of like a long-term injury. I know before preseason they were kind of watching him to make sure he didn't sort of aggravate it any further. I think it was a hip injury at the time. But yeah, God knows where he is in terms of his status of coming back to the first team. But hopefully we'll get some news in the near future. Enza said McAllister. So yeah, certainly in the 6th, yeah, definitely agree. McAllister has to start. Perfect timing in terms of having him back in the team, with Endo off to on international duty with Japan in the Asian Cup. So yeah, perfect timing. Couldn't have planned it any better for Liverpool there. In terms of the midfield 2, as in the advanced 8s, I'm not. For me, Curtis Jones definitely starts this one. For me, it's the who partners, because there's no Szoboszlai. We've got Elliott as an option as well. Not many options, to be fair. So for me personally, I don't know if anyone would agree with this. I'm going to go with Gravenberch on the left side, and then you've got Jones. Obviously, both of these players can interchange because they're very comfortable playing on either side. But I think Gravenberch favors the left side more. Jones, from what I remember playing the West Ham game, he rotated quite a bit and was doing really well on the right-hand side, had a good partnership with Trent. So that's something we can definitely explore, where he comes into this sort of area, drives the ball and shoots towards goal. So that would be my midfield. I think it has a good balance. You've got McAllister, threading in balls. Look at that through ball he gave to Jota against Newcastle. That's the type of passing ability I want from our number 6 there. So he's definitely going to make the team tick, set the tempo for us, and play more progressive football. Not saying Endo did that. He did that definitely. But we've got a player who probably has better passing range, in my opinion. So we'll definitely continue to play that level of football in our midfield. And I think that's the best midfield available, in my opinion. So that's what I would go with. Just got a comment here from Enz. He's saying Jones and Grabs 2-8. So Enz agrees with me on that one. And then Dazza said Maka 6, and then you've got Harvey, Elliott, and Jones as well, which is a good shout. But for me, there's a reason why I haven't signed Elliott. So, unpopular opinion, I actually want to see Elliott on that right wing. I know amongst Liverpool fans, it's a bit of a like, oh, he's not good enough. But let's not forget, he's a natural right winger. That's where he plays for Fulham. That's where he played at Blackburn Rovers when he was on loan from Liverpool as well. And he had a fantastic spell for Blackburn Rovers. I know it was in the Championship, but you still see he was playing at a good level. For me, this year, in terms of his improvement, he's more dynamic on the ball. His passing range has improved. I feel like he's like a level ahead in terms of his football IQ. Before, I think he would be quite nervous. He wouldn't really try different types of passes. He would keep it very simple. Now he's pretty much touch and move, which is fantastic to see from a young player. So he might not be like for like in terms of the impact that Mo Salah has on the right side. But remember, Mo Salah has been playing more as a traditional right winger this season, in my opinion. He's been touching that byline a lot more. Look how he performed against Newcastle, where he was the playmaker for that team. And then you had the left winger, who was Diaz. And then you had Jota. Then you had, obviously, Nunez as well, in the central areas, coming up around the 6-yard box, making lots of runs. So for me, Elliott can definitely do that same type of role where he might not be running with blistering pace or, easy on the eye with, doing step overs or tricks like that. But for me, he will be effective in that role. So is Arsenal the game for him to play in that role? I'm not sure. I think he will do a good job in this game. I think in the next coming weeks, with Salah being absent, I feel like Elliott should be occupying that right wing role. But I have so many kind of different thoughts in terms of who could play there. But what I'll do, I'll plant the players that I think or I would like to start, and I can kind of give you my plan B and plan C as well, because there's so many options in terms of how we can play this out. In terms of the two other positions there, I'll start with Jota up top. I think we need him to be a gunman. I know, and it's not because Nunez didn't score, or I'm not that sort of fan to just bash players. I feel like he had a decent performance against Newcastle, but in this game, I feel like we need someone to press from the front and to be very lethal up top. And if I've got Harvey Elliott on the right wing, someone like Jota who's a bit more experienced than the other attackers that we currently have. So we've got Diaz, Gakpo. Diaz has been at the club for 2 years. Gakpo has been there for about a year now. And Jota, for me, is a bit more experienced. He knows what to do in that sort of 6-yard box. And he likes to score a goal against Arsenal as well. So for me, definitely Jota has to start in this one. Left side, based on how he performed over the weekend, I'm going for Luis Diaz. I think that was probably his best game of the season. Took on the fullback like no man's business. He was really on it that day. And you've got a player in Ben White who's not on form. Yeah, he's ready to get cooked. So for me, Diaz definitely has to start in this fixture. Just got a few comments I'm going to go through now. So I know everyone's going to have different opinions, but yeah, love to hear what you guys think. So Enz has said, Jota in the 9, Elliott on the left, Diaz on the right. That's an interesting one. That is an interesting one. I haven't seen Elliott play on the left, so I would probably switch them around and let them play their natural game. But that's a good shot still. And then you've got Daz who says Diaz, Jota, and Nunez on the left. Okay, that's an interesting. So Diaz looks like everyone wants Diaz on the right. That's an interesting take. Other way. So okay, Enz means Elliott on the right. So you've got exactly my same lineup. So this is why me and Enz think alike. I've got exactly what I'm thinking there. And Bonkers LFC, thank you for your comment. McAllister, Jones, Harvey, and he's gone for Jota, Gakpo, and Nunez. Interesting one as well. How fit is Jota? If not match fit, Gakpo. So I think Jota should be up and running now. To be fair, obviously he made that cameo when he returned, and even the other day he came off the bench. He played for like about half an hour. So I think he should be raring to go. And obviously with this game as well, we've got such a long gap until our next Premier League fixture. I know we play Fulham next week, but after that we've got like a 10-day break. So for me, we can rest these players after that. When do we ever get 10-day breaks? Liverpool play like every couple of days. That's why I'm always doing shows every day. So no, it'll be a nice break to have for the players. Hopefully a lot of them will recoup and be energized with our upcoming games. But I think Jota should be more than ready to start in this fixture. And ends the same. Bless up to Bonkers, indeed. So as I mentioned, like this is the team that I would go with. I think the defense is debatable in terms of probably the partner for Van Dijk. A lot of you have said Kwanzaa, which is a fair shout. I've personally gone for Konate just for consistency. I think they've formed a good partnership in the last couple of weeks, I should say. So I wanted that to be continued. And I'm thinking maybe start Kwanzaa for that Fulham game midweek next week in the Carabao Cup semi-final. And the rest for me, it's pretty much mainstay. Gomez, Van Dijk, Trent on the right. Alisson for me starts is ahead of Kelleher. Midfield, I think that's the best midfield we have available right now with McAllister, Jones, and Gravenberch. And then up top is debatable. That's the front three that I would go with. But I can see Klopp deploying something different as well. So I can see this happening as well. So I can see maybe Klopp playing like a false 9 or like a number 10, however you want to phrase it. And it'll be Diaz on one side, Jota on the right side, and this being Gakpo. Because Gakpo can play that number 10 role, can play on the left. You can even probably do a shift on the right, probably better suited than the other two. But this could be something how Klopp lines up, where you've got Gakpo being that false 9, giving us more of a presence in the middle of the park, and then laying things off for these two guys. Diaz, obviously, I know he likes to attack on that left wing, but because he's been showing such great form, he can easily come in here and be a goal scorer. And Jota as well, where I know traditionally he doesn't like attacking this sort of byline, but he'll be in and around the box. If they need to interchange, that can be done as well. So this will be kind of like our old way of playing, where when we had Mane, Firmino, and Salah, where the players do tend to interchange. It can even be where Diaz goes in that kind of position. I wouldn't favor this, but the more natural one would be to have Gakpo here, and then have Jota there, and then have Diaz there. And then you've got Nunez, who can come on, play either of these front rows alongside a partner. But yeah, it's an interesting one, to be fair. That could be a tactic that we deploy. But I think in terms of how we play, I will still favor us to play a 4-3-3, and then we have Harvey Elliott on the right-hand side. So yeah, just some food for thought there in terms of how we can set up. But that's my lineup there. Let me know what you guys think. Bonkers with the thumbs up there. And that's it ends. Have you heard how Jamie's daughter is? Yeah, so I messaged Jamie on Twitter just to just give him my sort of best wishes. Hopefully his daughter's operation is going well, and hopefully he's doing all right as well. So yeah, hopefully everything is well with Jamie's daughter there. And yeah, that's my lineup. Let me know what you guys think. Now, in terms of my score prediction, I'm not going to be shameless and give a high score line at all. I think it'll be a close encounter. You know, we're at the Emirates as well. I'm hoping that we continue our form the way we played against Newcastle, where we attack from the first minute. I don't want it to be where just because we're the away team, we got to play the role of the, defensive minded team, play on the counter attack. I think we are going to play on that counter attack, in my opinion. I think we'll probably give them the ball, not give them the ball in that manner, but we will probably expect them to have more possession, especially in the first opening 20 minutes. And then that's where I think we'll be sort of attacking them on the counter. But as the game goes on, I'm hoping that Liverpool grab it by the scruff of the neck and play more possession football, play with intensity. Because the way we played against Newcastle, yes, I know we conceded 2 goals, but let's be honest, those 2 goals came out of nowhere. So I'm expecting us to be a bit more compact in our defense line. Van Dijk to definitely step up. Konate as well. Trent to play that invert as well, actually. So I haven't even mentioned that. Trent will definitely have an influence where I feel like he will come into that role at times. And I like the previous encounter with Arsenal, Konate, he'll be manhandling Martinelli on that left-hand side. So, don't expect him to have any influence in this game. And Trent fizzing the ball, because Gravenberch and Jones are good players, but they're more traditionally ball carried type of midfielders. Trent is the one where he pings passes, sublime passes, left, right, and center. And then you've got McAllister offering that same range as well. So this could easily be the shape in transition, but also when we need to revert and play more defensively, it will be this sort of formation where we revert back, and then this is how we'll form up. So Trent will have a key role in this fixture. McAllister as well, if he steps up and sets the tempo for us as well, he'll definitely help unlock doors. And Jota, if he starts, I'm expecting him to score goals in this one. So in terms of my prediction for this one, I'm going to go with 2-1 for Liverpool. In terms of the goal scorers, I just said that he's not going to have any effect on the game, but I think Martinelli might get on the score sheet, and I think Jota will score, and I can see Gakpo come off the bench and taking one for Liverpool as well. So that's my score prediction there. Just got another comment here from Daz, who says 2-1 to Liverpool, I assume, and then Jota and our number 9, Darwin scores and Saka scores the consolation goals. So yes, same score predictions, different goal scorers. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But that's a wrap up for today, guys. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Daz. Thank you to Enz. Thank you to Madison for your comments and for your participation. Very grateful as always, guys. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. As I mentioned earlier in the show, we'll be doing a match reaction for this game on Sunday. It will be slightly later than after the game, because I know the match is at 4:30, so the game would probably finish around 6:37. So I'll be doing a match reaction 10 p.m. UK time. It's a calling show, guys. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, look out for the link in the description. I'll also pin it in the live chat. So Daz, you mentioned earlier on that you wanted to jump on. Feel free to come on the show on Sunday. You can follow me on social media. You can follow me at OzzieFTP on Twitter /X. And you can also follow me at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Just got a comment here from Philip. Philip, thank you for your comment. And he's predicted 2-1 to us as well. So everyone's got a similar prediction there. So I guess we're all on the same wavelength. But thank you for tuning, guys. As always, take care, stay safe. And yeah, I hope to see you all on Sunday. Goodbye.